What is good, guys? Matt from Duality Gaming here, giving you another video, and yes, I am back on VR, and particularly only 37% of gamers are aware of VR, with Oculus Rift being the most known at 22%, no, 37% I believe, no, 22%, I am getting my things mixed up, and PlayStation VR being at 14%, and the HTC Vive being at 6%, so the motherfucker mentioned on my video about how it's going to blow up and everything, clearly you are wrong. And the only reason I'm doing this is because it kind of helps me prove my point. The annual income for VR right now is about 63,000, so about $20 spent on video games per month. I think that's per person that owns this. If you don't know, the Oculus Rift has been the most known with the, I think it's been around for about 3-4 years, whatever, with the whole Kickstarter campaign. HTC Vive's come out recently, about a year or two ago, and PlayStation VR I think's been around for about a year or two now. And they're all, we're talking about this now because they're all coming out this year, or have come out. I think the Oculus Rift's come out. HTC Vive I think is on its way of coming out. I think it's happening in stages, and the PlayStation VR is coming out in October. Now, this article actually talked about the PlayStation VR a bit more, talking about how it was 14%, and that probably being the most known to the consumer, with the fact of it's Sony, and people of brand recognition would probably go for the PlayStation VR before they would go for the Oculus or the HTC, preferably, because they feel like it'd work with their PlayStation. Well, they know it'd work with their PlayStation, and it's just the name. The name carries weight with it. If you don't, Oculus Rift, people aren't going to know Oculus as well as they are going to know Sony. Now, for the people that are saying that VR is going to blow up, please let this fact just sink in to your clearly thick head, right? 37% of the gamers. That's not even half. That's not a majority. And the fact that Oculus Rift is the most known purely because of how long it's been around is saying something. So for people saying this is the future, this is the way forward, it's going to blow up, no, it's not. At least not right now, and I don't think in the next few years it will blow up. The fact that there are more uses for it outside of gaming than there are inside of gaming. It could be used as training purposes. I've seen it used on roller coasters. It can be used for medical purposes, for people that can't get out of bed and want to explore the fucking tropics or whatever. There are reasons for VR, but gaming is not one of them. The fact that right now is not even as an accessible thing, because the fact that you've got to, even a reviewer said this, by the way, how expensive it was. So among that, along with the fact of it's not really as popular as everyone's thinking it is, because really the only reason you think it's popular is because you know it as well as you do. Doesn't mean everyone else in the community knows about it. So hopefully this is showing some sort of evidence to it. Now let me just go on the other side and say this is 37% of self-identified US gamers. So this could literally be all Nintendo gamers. This could be all people that think they're gamers because they play on mobiles. It could be all Xbox fans. But at the end of the day, the chances are they probably do play something that is to do with gaming, and only 37% of them knew about VR. So let that fact sink in. Really, is the future really only 37% of people, which is quite an underwhelming minority. Tell me what you think down below. Like the video if you liked it, dislike if you didn't like it, subscribe to the channel. It really does help me and Doris out. Check out the Facebook and check out the Instagram for daily updates. And ultimately, guys, as I always say, have a nice day.